Hello guys, today I'm gonna do a quick review on my new machine right here. This is designed for Japan Cup 2015 and there's a lot of special setting on it. So I'm gonna do a quick review about how I set up this car in order to pass every trap which is on Japan Cup 2015 track layout. Okay, this is 2015 Japan Cup layout. Okay, so we're gonna starting right here. Okay, so first we're gonna have the Proud Mountain jump right here. Okay, actually there's only one section flat right here and another section straight landing, which is right here, but it's 45-degree going up. Okay, then we keep going right here, there's another turn and we keep going right here, there's like 30-degree slope. This is actually not real like standard slope. Actually this is the slope right here, there's no any curve, nothing really like going out. So actually it is just like some kind of like angles going up. Okay, so we keep going, there's another slope 30-degree going down and we come all the way right here. Okay, right here the yellow mark right here, this is actually there's a special setting. Okay, let me give you a detailed picture right here. Okay, okay, right here, so you see what's right here hiding right here. Okay, we got the trap right here. This is all the trap. Okay, so this trap actually is not really too hard to pass that. So moving to the next, in the next, after we go all the way here. Okay, and then here's lane change right here. This lane change actually is not really too hard. It's just like, just think about like standard like high speed lane change. Okay, and moving to the next right here, we have a step corner. Okay, and this step corner actually it is giving a lot of people first time racer a hard time, because if you don't have a sliding damper sitting on the car, the back and the front, and you're gonna have a lot slowing down right here. Let me give you another detailed picture on this step corner right here. Okay, this is the step corner, which is you can see right here. Okay, so on this step corner, as you can see, the edges, it's like steps. Okay, so when your car enter right here, so you're gonna have a lot of vibration. It's gonna be created right here. That's why it's keep your car having a lot of speed, slowing down right here. Okay, so moving. Okay, moving to the next, we gonna have two trap right here. This is 1, 2. Okay, right here. So let me give you another detailed picture for these traps. You're gonna see one small trap, one here, and another one right here. Okay, so this is the traps. Okay, so in this case, you better have a special setting on your car in order to pass these traps. Okay, so here's everything we have on this 2015 Japan Cup track layout. Okay, first let's take a look at the basic foundation setup on this car. Okay, so I using the ball bearing spacer right here to preventing my wheel block the ball bearing right here, and the front setting, which is right here, I have, you can see there's two black pieces like a sponge right here. This is come from the brake. Okay, so basically I'm using the brake, the sponge brake, and attach to on both latch right here to keep this one too tight on the chassis, because this thing has a problem, always pops up sometimes, because VS chassis is very old chassis. They have a very fragile design on the front. So if you don't have these two pieces right here to block this piece on the chassis, eventually this piece during the race keep jumping, having the vibration, this thing gonna pops up. Okay, another thing I have right here, this is another tape I put right here to make this piece right here a little bit tighter, because when you notice, if I put this thing right here, you don't put any tape right here, this whole thing gonna be a little bit like loose. So as long as you have a little bit pieces tape right here, and plus the sponge brake right here. So my whole gear cap right here gonna be keep really tight. Okay, so this is to keep all my this part right here very secure. And moving to the next, you can see I gotta trim the crown gear, which right here. Okay, let me give you original shape of crown gear. This is the original shape of crown gear. You can see the edge is really sharp, and take a look at this one right here. So the edges are being trimmed, and it's really wrong. It's preventing this side of the edge of the crown gear to contact with the side of the chassis to create some resistance. And also I have a little bit like a pinion gear right here to trim very small to put it right here. Of course I'm using a crazy glue to keep that in position. So this is preventing my the crown gear right here moving too much to the other side to keep like pushing the transmission, which is right here. Okay, so moving to the next, you will notice my transmission right here is being like the cutting off right on the little bit tip right here. Okay, so this is the original shape. I can give you a look on the original pieces. So this is the original pieces. Okay, you notice the without cutting the tips off. So this thing actually is very sharp. It is have potential chance to hitting the crown gear right here. So to bypass the preventing the hitting, so you have to remove a little bit tips on the transmission, the gear right here, so it makes a little bit like offset like this. Okay, let me put it side by side. You can see more detail. This is how it looks like. Okay, then moving to the next, we look at the back. The back setting, which I have same setting, and I have reinforced the sponge put right here. So on the back, I have the reinforced setting right here. Okay, to put a piece of sponge right here to keep my latch to under really tight stick on the chassis, because this thing also pops up if you race too much on VS chassis, because eventually even when you drop the car into the track, this piece gonna be finally pops up. Okay, and these two little pieces right here is for keep my motor on the right position, because most of the time in the VS chassis has a little problem with this sitting right here, because you will feel the chassis and the motor and have a really loud noise. It is not about anything wrong with it. It is because this part right here cannot keep the motor on the right place. That's why the motor will loose. So eventually this thing gonna be like this, and in this case the gear not gonna be have on the right position. So of course it's gonna be create some noise. So with this sitting right here, you're putting some sponge on this part, and it will push the motor all the way down to the right position. Okay, moving to the next, this is very traditional flowing gear system, which is a modify, and for the most people it's really hard to modify like this. Just make sure if you don't have the tool, or either you don't have the hand on the floating gear system right here, so you can use the regular one, but make sure using the flooring coat the gear shaft makes it a bit smoother, because this sitting right here don't really making too much speed or either too much difference on the speed. It may be improved a little bit, but it's not really too much, very obviously you can tell. Okay, so my best recommend just using the upgrade the gear shaft, which is right here, this one right here. This is the upgraded gear shaft. Okay, this is different than the standard gear shaft because this has special coat on it, so it's really smooth. Okay, so reduce a lot of resistance. So make sure you insert right here, and here's the ball bearing. Make sure you put another roller spacer right here like this. Okay, so in this case, this thing gonna keep your gear on this side away from to contact on the side of the edge right here, because if you don't put a roller spacer right here, okay, what's gonna happen it is you're gonna notice first thing this thing gonna be too loose right here. Another thing, you can see this one contact right here. Okay, so it's create a lot of resistance. So that's why first thing you have to put a roller spacer like this one right here to give a little bit gap to keep this gear a little bit away from this side of a chassis. So let me give you a detailed looking right now after I put a roller spacer. So you can see right now it's preventing it's hitting it, and it's have less gap, it's have less vibration. So it's gonna be works a little bit better than without the roller spacer right here. So this is the setting you have to know. And moving to the next, and here's little pieces like carbon fiber right here. I put it right here to preventing this little pieces. Let me point to you, let you see the detail. Okay, so this piece right here, the little notch right here, so you can see there's little very simple and fragile plastic right here. This one I'm pointing at right now. So what happened is most time when VS chassis we try to modify to a technical, remember you have a lot of jump and the slope and the lane change or whatever, you know, so transmission have a lot of load. So eventually if you don't have setting right here to preventing this piece overloaded, so you have to reinforce this little notch right here. Otherwise eventually this piece right here, the plastic, gonna be broken. Okay, so the whole transmission gonna be screwed up. Okay, so also have a little bit sitting right here. You can see it's preventing my the crank gear to over moving to the other side, and also have this one right here to block my crank gear to over move to the other side, so make my whole transmission really smooth like this. So there's basically there's nothing contact inside of the chassis to create some resistance. As you can see, I also trim off a little bit crank gear right here to keep it stay away from this side of the chassis. So there's barely contact. It's basically there's no contact at all, but it's, as you can see, if I don't trim my crank gear, what's gonna happen, it is this edges right here gonna be contact right here to create some resistance. Since I'm trim off to bypass this, and also I do this setting right here to keep this part to move to the other side, or also this little space right here keep to the move to the other side to keep the gear in the right position. My whole transmission really smooth right now. Okay, so moving to the next, I have a very basic reinforce on the here and here and here and here. Okay, because VS chassis has really fragile and on the back this mounting point right here. So what I do it is I'm using the item number 15412, the carbon reinforced rear double roller stage 3 attachment point. So what I do it is I'm using the item number B5 to attach right here to make this little mounting point a little bit stronger. Also I'm using the E4, which is small pieces on the top, which is right here to keep the top of the mounting point as strong as well, and the mounting another piece of carbon fiber to make this double stronger. Then you know, otherwise eventually if you don't have this type of like a setting, this piece may be gonna be broken off. Okay, so this is the basic setting on this VS chassis. Moving to the next, I'm gonna talk about all the setting I have and how it's fit to Japan Cup 2015. Okay, first challenge we have the Japan Cup 2015. It is the Proud Mountain jump. Okay, here we go. This is the Proud Mountain jump. Okay, so the one I'm circle right now, this is the whole thing, and you can see the Proud Mountain jump has really higher angles, goes up. It's about 30 degree, and the most hardest part it is having such long distance like jump like this, and it's going really high. And remember, you only have technically you only have buffering in the landing is this part and this part right here. Okay, so you're gonna be in the air about this much distance. Okay, so most people they choose to land on the yellow spot right here. Okay, so most people try to land on the uphill bank. So it is really hard to get a safe land. So your car needed to be very stable on the landing. Especially you have to keep your jump position a little bit nicer in order to land perfectly on the bank over there. So let me give you a detailed look on the bank first. Okay, so this is the bank looks like. Okay, so again, most people try to land right here. So you better keep your car. Suppose this is the head of your car and this is the back of your car. You have to keep your car like this kind of position when it's in the air. So you have to have the front a little bit tail up and the back a little bit tail down. Okay, so you can land perfectly like this to the truck like this. Okay, so otherwise, if your car having a very straight angle like this, so you're gonna eventually gonna happen is you're gonna smash right here the front head. So either way, you're gonna end off either it's like flies off or either get a bust out. So so the jumping position is really important, and also the body damper system you have to keep a little bit like works a little bit better. So for that setting on my car, I have a very special setting on the brake and also for the body damper system as well. Okay, so for this car, in order to very stable to pass proud mount jump, and you only can using probably light dash or either automatic turn or either torque turn, because it's got approved in Japan Cup 2015. Most winner they using light dash or automatic turn or either torque turn. Okay, yeah, I do see some cases people using a hyper dash, but it's not really. You're just playing fire. I mean, yeah. So I'm just gonna using light dash. So that's why I keep my car really light. So this car actually with body everything without the battery is about 115 grand. Okay, so it's really light because I want to keep my car because I'm using light dash. So I also want to keep my car still fast when it's running on the light dash. So you have to build it really. So I have to build my car really light. So in this case, acceleration, takeoff, and it's gonna be very fast. It's gonna be basically almost same speed as hyper dash what I'm using like on the other car. Okay, so so for the brake, I have a little bit of piece right here. Okay, so as you can see, my brake system right here, you can see have a little bit of angle goes up. So this is have two function. First function is preventing my front, this piece right underguard right here, to getting hit on the gap of truck, because the truck each piece connect to each other, so there's a lot of gap there. So you better have a little bit like angle goes up like this. So I trim off. Let me give a better angle, can see. So I trim off a little bit right here to make it a little bit up, so it won't really hitting the gap anymore. So also this is when you're hitting the proud mountain jump. So this thing gonna give you a perfect angle when jumps. The car gonna be keep the position like this. Okay. So also my brake, I tape it. Okay, because I'm using light dash. Light dash have a less torque than hyper dash. Okay, so in this case, my push. So in this case, when my car heading to the proud mountain jump, and it don't really have too much torque. So in this case, I don't really need a lot of brake. I just need something can kick on the truck a little bit to keep my car a little bit down. Okay, so this is actually to just giving a little bit of slow down, but not too much. Okay, because if you're using a hyper dash, you have to have a really heavy brake in order to control speed. So if you're using light dash, so the good thing about light dash, you don't need too much brake, so you still can maintain the speed when you're hitting the slope, because you can tape your brake. In this case, you have no brake at all. So when you're hitting the slope, basically there's not too much slow down. So in this way, I still can keep my car jump really fast, and I still can maintain the speed in the air. Okay. Also, when my car land, it's gonna be like this kind of position. It's perfectly to and to stable on the bank with landing. Remember the bank's like this, 45 degrees. So my car, if you jump like this, I want my car like this type of position, so it can perfectly land like this. But also there's some chances maybe it's not lucky and I gotta like maybe a flight off. I mean, it's always having Japan Cup, so it's basically I would say 50% luck, 50% skill. And remember, I talked about the body damper system that we need a special setting to keep my car more stable. So this is the setting I have. As you can see, I got a 2 pieces of carbon fiber mounting right here. Okay, so this is gonna give my body damper system works a little bit better, because a traditional way people has the body damper system like this. There's no any carbon fiber right here. So basically your body damper system is hitting the battery, but remember, hitting the battery, this part is a little bit like, you know, not really so all the press is focused on the center of the battery. Okay, so with this sitting right here, instead of my this pieces hitting the battery, I'm putting 2 little pieces on the side to make my body damper system hitting the chassis. It is giving more wide angle to hitting the chassis, make my cars more stable when it's landing, because it's very easy to maybe try to imagine that. I mean, it is you will notice that this body damper system works more efficiency, because first thing, see that it's more stable. It don't really, you know, like, you know, waggle and loop, very like, you know, fragile. And like this one, even already have battery there. You can see it's really fragile. It's move a lot on both sides. And this one has more support on the side. So when it's hitting the chassis, it's giving more press on the very lower central gravity, and keep your car really stable on the lower position. Okay, so this is how it is works. So you can see it's pretty good. You know, without even battery, it's my car still stable. So okay, so this is how my setting for past the Proud Mountain jump. Okay, and by the way, I'm pretty sure a lot of people curious where these little pieces come from. Okay, basically these little pieces come from these pieces right here. So every single time I cut my carbon fiber to modify the shape I want, I always keep the scrap. So this is the little scrap come from here. Okay, so it's like this, and also like this one right here also have the same pieces right here. This is this type of the brake I'm using on the front. That's what's come from. Okay, so basically what I do, I trim off and using crazy glue to glue this piece on the top of the carbon fiber, so it makes like this. Okay, so let me give it detailed looking. Okay, the next challenge we have, it is we got this little uphill slope, which is right here from this direction. And this uphill slope actually is not really that hard, because it is not really probably I think it's like a 15 to 20 degree goes up, and it's not really slope, because slope has a little bit curve and arc shape, and it's make you jump. But this thing, as long as you keep the front roller about a 5 to 6 degree, like a little bit tail down, you should be very safely to pass this section right here. And especially make sure to keep your tire as a very low profile. So okay, so moving to the next, we're gonna have another curve right here, and the follow up is another downhill like slope. So this downhill slope actually, as you can see on the photo, there's no any buffer section, unlike this part right here have one section of straight to giving a buffer. But this downhill slope, which is right here, don't have any straight for the buffer. So but it's okay, because this downhill like slope, actually again, it's not having any curve or arc shape. So as long as you keep the roller have a little bit tail down, like 5 to 6 degree, and using low profile tire, and it should be very safely to pass the this part right here. It's not really that hard. Okay, and here, this is what I'm talking about. This is the 5 degree, the angle I have on the front roller. So okay, so this is how I pass that to slope, which is shown on the picture. Okay, so as long as you have this little angle right here, goes the front roller goes a little bit tail down, it should be okay. Especially make sure you're using a small, like medium size diameter tire like this one right here. This is actually considered as low profile tire. Okay, so it's very lower central gravity. Especially I put this body damper system about 1.5 millimeter away from the ground, and a plus the back brake is about 1.5 and the front about 1.5 as well. So it's really, so when you're hitting the slope like this type of angle, so this one actually everything, the front and the back getting a little bit slowed down, and especially the roller, and keep your car on the very low central gravity. So that in order to keep the car really stick on the track. So this is how this car works on that slope. Okay. Okay, moving to the next, you will notice after we pass this downhill slope, and there's a couple trap right here. This is the trap. Okay, so this trap right here actually is not really that hard, because it just it just make your car like not really balanced at all, and like give you a little bit slow down. As long as your car is not really too low. I mean, even it's 1 millimeter away from the ground, it's supposed to be very stably to pass that. I mean for this type, the yellow part I'm circle right now, this is just, I think it's just like some extra pieces, like just for fun, because if you're being able to pass this slope right here, which means you have no problem at all right here. Okay, so this part I don't really want to talk about. It's not really hard at all. Okay. Okay, the next thing coming up, it is the infinity lane change, which is this part right here. The infinity lane change, actually, I don't think it's really have anything like we have to worry about it. Only thing you have to be really careful is this part right here, the yellow part of the circle, because this one have a little bit like inner curve. So okay, just make sure your brake is not too much, because this is gonna be the only section on this lane change gonna be gonna kill the speed. Okay, as long as you have like my setting that the brake with tape and using a lightweight, should be okay. Okay, I know somebody using a special angle brake try to giving a brake free on this section right here, but it's not really too necessary, because this only because you're only gonna hit this part of only one time. Okay. Okay, coming to the next, and we have very traditional Japan Cup style corner, which is this one right here. So for the past, all the Japan Cup, they have this corner all the time. Okay, this is, some people call it step corner. Okay, because it looks like a little bit step. You can see, you see the shape. It's like steps. It's not like a regular smooth, like curve and turning. It has a little bit of the straight and chicane in design on it. Okay, so for this type of corner, you have to using a 19 millimeter roller, because if you're using some smaller roller, especially using 8 millimeter or 9 millimeter roller, so your roller really gonna get a cut on the little, like the corner like this. Okay, because you can see they have a little bit small corner like this or this. So if you're using small roller, you're gonna get a hit on the gap. Okay, if you're using a large roller, you're gonna be very smoothly to bypass those gap. Okay, so first thing for this corner, you have to having a large diameter roller. Another thing you have to have, it is the sliding damper system. Okay, on the back and the front, because when your car enter this corner, your car gonna be shake, gonna be create a lot of vibration. So this vibration gonna kill you on the speed. Okay, and also if your car too fast, if you don't have sliding damper system to absorbing the energy on the vibration, eventually somehow you maybe will ends off like shake off or either flies off. Okay. Okay, this is the sliding damper I'm talking about. Okay, so as you can see, both front and the rear can move like this, like sliding. Okay, so this is how you pass a step corner. So with this one, like it's moving and coming back, so it's absorbing the vibration. Okay, so make your car a little bit smooth to pass that, because remember, if you don't have that, your car gonna be shaking like this. So with this, the motion like this gonna be absorbing all the vibration. Okay, another thing it is, when you're using a sliding damper system, make sure you're using the silver spring, which is right here. So Tamiya package always come with two types of spring. One is black one, the other one silver one. Silver is the hard one, the black one is soft one. So you have to using the hard one, because the reason why, because if you're using the soft one, the problem it is on the regular corner, you're gonna lose the speed. Okay, because it's too soft. So when your car move to the corner, regular corner, not step corner, okay, move to regular corner, this thing gonna be too soft. There's too much cushion, and you're gonna have too much, because your thing gonna be moving too much and create more resistance. So it's better to using a hard spring to still can give a little bit support on the roller when it's moving to the regular corner, because on the Japan Cup there's more regular corner. And especially 2015, you only got one set of step corner. So make sure you're using a hard spring like this, okay? And for the detail about the sliding damper system, I'm gonna do another video to talk about how to make it, okay? So today's video, I'm not gonna talk about it because it's really taking too much time, okay? So anyway, just gonna go ahead and move into the next. Okay, the final thing gonna come to the Japan Cup. It is the little red circle right here. So I'm pretty sure you see two little metal bar right here. This is like some type of trap. Okay, so you need a special setting on your brake in order to pass these two trap right here. Okay, and I'm pretty sure you notice one is small, the other one is big. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so right now I'm gonna show you the setting on my car and on the brake system, how I modify in order to pass these two sections right here. Okay, this is the brake system I have right here. I'm pretty sure you notice right here and here there's empty, there's nothing here. Okay, so this is how I pass the trap. Suppose this is the trap and it's on the track, and your car move to here, so you have to keep right here the center part clear. So in this case, even it's moved to there, and it's not gonna trap you, because as long as the bottom is clear like this, so you can slide on the top of that, and it's easily to pass the trap. Okay, think about it. If you have a brake right here and here, what's gonna happen it is you're gonna hit it like this. So you will feel your thing will drag on the brake like this, or either the front as well. So that's gonna slow you down, or either you get a cut. Okay, so you have to keep the center part right here is empty. Okay, so in this case, there's nothing can really block you in the center part. So keep this part, middle part clear, so you can bypass the trap on the truck. Okay. So anyway, this is my car setting for the Japan Cup 2015. Okay, if you have any questions, just go ahead and leave a comment, and I will answer as soon as possible.